Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and today I am driving a 2009 Hyundai Accent hatchback. Up front is a 1.6 liter inline 4, and down below is a 5-speed manual transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Hyundai Accent for two reasons. First of all, I don't often get to drive manual Hyundais. They don't really make them anymore, and Hyundai is a relatively new company, so there's only a small window I get to chuck my own gears with the Hyundai badge. But the second reason is the fact that this is a two-door hatchback in bright green. I'm filming it on St. Patrick's Day, although it's not coming out on St. Patrick's Day. So I'm excited to share this delightful little hatchback with you. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. Last but not least, huge thank you to North Naperville Autos for letting me borrow their Hyundai Accent for today's video. More on them towards the end, but if you'd like to browse their inventory, you can do so down in the description below. But let's get back to that 1.6 liter inline 4 under the hood. Well, it makes 110 horsepower. This is not a rocket ship, nor did it ever really claim to be. This isn't a sporty version. This isn't anything flary or special. It's just an honest little two-door hatch, and so that 110 horsepower is perfectly fine for the application that this car sets out to accomplish. Are you going to be winning many races? Probably not, but that is A-okay. Like I said, paired to it is a 5-speed manual transmission, and this driving experience is capstoned by that shifter feel. It feels fine enough. It does feel somewhat economical, and it's a little here and there. It's not the best transmission I've ever felt, but it is pretty direct. I am shifting my own gears. I'm having fun, and it's a manual little hatch, and that's the thing. That is what makes this car special. Last but not least, it of course is front wheel drive. How does it feel to drive the Hyundai Accent hatchback in manual? Well, as I mentioned, the shifter throw is good enough. The engine is buzzy enough. You're not going to get yourself in trouble because you're not going anywhere too quick. But it's engaging, and it's just a little bit silly. That's what I really like. It almost feels like an American version of a Japanese K car. Just in the way that you're kind of chucking gears, you're looking out the big windows. It kind of has this cartoonish feel about it. And yeah, it's still used as a mode of transportation, one of the most basic modes of transportation. But it has this sort of tongue-in-cheek feeling about it. The ride is not great. It's an economy car. It's an affordable, cheap car. I mean, I have to say, of the cars I've driven recently, this puts one of the biggest smiles on my face. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 3 gauges. Off to the left is the tachometer, in the center is the fuel, and off to the right is the speedometer. On the steering wheel, don't get anything. We don't get anything. Off to the left, we do get a climate control vent, 2 blocked off switches, and the gauge dimmer switch. And moving on to the door, we have manual mirrors, the latch to get in and out, and manual windows. Nothing in here is added power or nice. Moving into the center, we do get a digital clock. That almost feels like a first-class ticket here in the Accent. Hazard switch and rear defrost, which I did have to use today. And our radio, CD player, it works. And down below, we have our climate controls for temperature off the left, fan speed in the center, where to send it off to the right, AC, and recirculating. Very, very simple. We do get a little cubby, which is very, very nice. Then we do get the cigarette lighter, aux input, and a 12-volt outlet, as well as a built-in ashtray that's removable. So there's like this awkward little cup holder down below, and this was actually purposefully made for the ashtray that is removable. Very, very weird feature. This was probably part of a smoker's package, if I had to guess, from Hyundai. A lot of cars used to do this. They would offer a smoker's package. So here it is here in the Accent. Then we have the shifter. Really rubbery, plasticky, not super great feeling shifter. However, it's manual. It has a manual transmission. And you can always switch out the shift knob. If you buy this car, you can put a giant crystal shift knob in it for all intents and purposes, and you pull up on the collar in order to get it into reverse. Then we have the handbrake and the cup holders. We'll do a big friggin' bottle test, and it fails. Wah, wah, wah. And the seats are cloth. Again, nothing special. Nothing on the inside of this car is special. This has no features at all. It is basic of the basic of the basic, which I truly believe we need more of in society. But I'll refrain from getting on my high horse here today. But we do have back seats. So unfortunately for me, we have back seats of a coupe. Let's go do a back seat review. All right, let's get in the back of the two-door hatchback Hyundai Accent. We do have this right here to move it forward. And it actually offers a decent amount of space to get in. I actually feel like I can get in here pretty easily. And I can. That was actually super easy. Once we are back here, we do have the same cloth seats as found up front. It's pretty rigid, pretty unforgiving. We have a speaker. That's kind of nice. Now then over here, we can move this seat back into place. Okay, maybe we can't move it all the way back, but honestly, I fit pretty well. This is like the more common legroom that you'll have, and that's getting a little bit tight, but it's also not the worst thing in the world. The seats aren't touching the back seats like they are in some other coupes. Headroom also works. You can fit people back here. I have a grab handle in case you're doing any evasive maneuvers in a Hyundai Accent hatchback, but it overall works. I'm back here. I'm 5'11", not a small guy. I'm in the back of this. Like, that on its own is a gold star, just because I don't fit in the back of a lot of vehicles, and so the fact that I'm even back here at all is great. Am I the most comfortable I've ever been in the world? No, of course not. I don't know, this gets a pass for what it is. Like, for what it is, this is manageable. And for a coupe hatchback, not bad at all. But speaking of that hatch part of the back, that was a weird way to say it. Let's talk about the hatchback back hatch. All right, coming around the back of the Hyundai Accent, grab a handle here, pull it up, and there you go. It's not a huge trunk. I didn't expect it to be a huge trunk, but you do get a little privacy cover. These, of course, are the floor mats for the next owner. And we can come up here and push these seats down. You don't really want to come down, but when they do, there you go. Take this out, and now you have a ton of space. Now, they don't fold completely flat, but you got to get a dining room chair to your grandma's by tonight. You could do it here in the back of the Accent. There you go. So that is the back. Obviously, no power tailgate, but super easy to lift up. It's very, very light, and that is the rear trunk of the Accent hatchback. Now we got to talk about the looks, and the color is a little loud. It's a little loud, and the styling is a little mushy. It's not a very stylized, intricate design. I don't think this was chiseled out of marble at their headquarters in Seoul, South Korea. It's fine, but I do like, it does have this silly appeal to it. You know, I was talking to the owners of North Naperville Autos, and they're like, oh, it's just a little green egg. I was like, yeah, it is kind of a little green egg. I kind of like that. There's something charming about this car. And so let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving this 09 Hyundai Accent? It's charming. And that's the coolest thing. I like that it's stick shift. I like that it's bare bones. This is going to make a fantastic first car for someone, or someone that just needs an A to B and doesn't want power windows or power mirrors. This is a beater with a heater, and I love that. I love the simplicity of this car. And I miss cars like this, sure. Stripped out, bare bone, basic cars, I do miss for sure. But also, I was thinking about the name Accent, and it made me think about an accent wall. Like when you paint a house, sometimes you'll leave 3 walls gray, and then you do a dark blue wall at the back of the room. It kind of adds a little bit of depth to the room. Or, you know, if a lot of things are blue in your household, you put, you know, some fake lemons out on the table, this pop of color, this accent of color. And that's what this car really is. This car isn't the focus of your attention. This isn't going to be the talking piece for every time someone meets you. This isn't going to be your whole personality. But it does add a little accent to your life. You'll probably be remembered as the guy or girl that drives the little green egg. You know, it adds just a little bit of spice, a little bit of accenting to the rest of your life. Now that cars are getting so expensive and are so expensive, it has to be your whole life. It has to be your whole personality. You have to have the biggest screen. You have to have all-wheel drive. You have to have the turbo engine. Because you're spending $30, $40, $50, $60,000 on these cars, you want it to last more than a conversation. This Hyundai Accent doesn't take up more than a couple sentences of the conversation. It's a background character. But background characters are so necessary in any story that you tell. You need background characters to fill in the world and make it feel like it's alive. Let this car be one of the accents to a very colorful life. Oh, that's Steve. He drives this little green car and his mother only speaks German because she moved here a few years ago. Oh, that's Jane. She's got red hair and drives a quirky little green hatchback. Or this day and age, people my age don't really know how to drive stick shift. And so the fact that it's a stick shift, that might be a fun little thing that you'll learn about someone. You know, the third date, he decides to pick you up and you get in the car and you go, I didn't know you knew how to drive stick. And then you get to tell, oh yeah, my dad taught me how to drive stick on a 92 Ford Ranger in my high school parking lot. And it was one of the coolest things I did with my dad before he passed, or things like that. This car adds color to an already colorful world. It's just a little detail. It's a little something special and extra that you might not get by driving a Corolla with a CVT. No one's gonna get in the car and go, ooh, CVT? I didn't know you were a CVT man. But this with the manual transmission, you're gonna get that little information, that little extra something, a little extra accent. And that's what I love about this car. Is this the most interesting car I've ever driven in the world? No, of course not. This car doesn't have a huge story to tell, but it fills in the details of an already evolving story. The story of the rest of your life, the story of your personality, the story of who you are. And what are we as people if we're not just lists of details rolled up in skin and bones? So let this Hyundai accent be one of those details on your list. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to North Naperville Autos for letting me borrow their green little egg today. They are absolutely wonderful. They are Carfax certified. They offer shipping to the lower 48 states. And they also offer mobile detailing. So if you want your vehicle detailed, they come to you in an awesome, specially built van. And they are your one-stop shop for used vehicles here in Illinois. So please go check out North Naperville Autos. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.